Why are human remains no longer buried 6 feet underground? Here's the surprising truth. In most places, they usually weren't buried exactly 6 feet down in the first place. 6 feet under became a popular phrase. But real burial depth has always depended on local rules, soil, and practical needs. Welcome to the Smart Side. This is a channel for people who love learning how everyday things really work. So today, I'll explain where the 6-foot idea came from, what the typical burial depth is today, and why cemeteries often choose different depths now. First, where did 6 feet under even come from? A lot of people connect it to disease outbreaks in history, especially in big cities, where communities wanted burials deep enough to reduce odors, discourage animals, and lower the chance of graves being disturbed. But even then, it wasn't one global standard. It was more like a practical guideline that got repeated, and eventually turned into a cultural rule in people's minds. So what's more common today? In many places, cemeteries follow a cover requirement instead of a total depth requirement. That just means the important number is how much soil is above the casket or burial container, not whether the bottom of the grave is exactly 6 feet down. A common approach is roughly 3 to 4 feet of soil on top. That's usually enough to keep things stable, prevent odors, discourage animals, and protect the grave from erosion, while still being safe and practical to dig. So when people say they don't bury 6 feet anymore, what they really mean is modern burial is planned around safety and conditions, not a single old tradition. Now let's talk about the biggest reasons cemeteries don't just default to deeper is better. Reason number 1, the ground. Not every cemetery has deep, easy soil. Some places hit rock, some hit dense clay, some have a high water table. And if you dig too deep in certain areas, you can literally run into groundwater, which can cause water to collect in the grave and create long-term stability problems. Reason number 2, worker safety. Deeper graves are riskier. Soil can collapse, especially after rain. So a practical depth reduces danger during digging and burial. Reason number 3, long-term maintenance. Cemeteries need the ground to stay level for decades, sometimes longer. If soil settles unevenly, you can get sinking, depressions, and headstones shifting. That's why many cemeteries use liners or burial vaults to help prevent collapse and manage settling over time. Reason number 4, space. This one surprises people. Some plots are designed to hold more than one burial over time, especially family plots. In those cases, one casket may be placed deeper and another later placed above it, with enough soil separating them, so families can share a plot, and cemeteries can use land more efficiently. So the modern system isn't really dig exactly 6 feet. It's more like meet the legal cover requirement, keep it stable, keep it safe, and respect the land. And that brings us to the big takeaway. 6 feet under is mostly a phrase. Real burial depth has always depended on local regulations, soil conditions, water levels, and practical engineering. So when you hear that burials are no longer 6 feet deep, it's not some sudden change. It's just that real life has always been more complicated than the saying. If this helped you understand something new, I'd really appreciate it if you hit like and subscribe. It means a lot to me and to the channel, and it helps the Smart Side reach more people who love learning like you do.